Hey everyone. So, since I was lacking on my videos this past week, I figured I would upload the second one today. So, with the new house, I have a ton of projects. The house is pretty much complete, but I still have so much to go through. House was remodeled pretty much completely, but still fixing a couple things here and there, and then just changing things up a little bit. One thing is the 4 bedroom house, but it's just me and my wife at the moment, and all our animals, 2 dogs, 2 cats. So, one of these bedrooms, as you can see, we have a nice, comfy looking couch and trusty tape measure. And then we have the tape marking a 100-inch projection. So, we have the side tapes doing the sides, and then the top and bottom, where the top and bottom, and then the blue one's roughly in the center. Not perfect, but gives me roughly an idea. And that's a 100-inch screen. Now, we're doing a 100-inch screen just because that's the maximum that the projector I'm currently looking at is spec'd out for. I was going to do a 120-inch screen with some of the other ones, but I decided to spend a little more money on the LG LED short throw projector, which I believe is the PF1000U, PF1000U, and then that's going to save me in lamps pretty much the rest of the time, because it's supposed to be good for about 30,000 hours versus a standard projector, which is roughly around 3,000, but they average somewhere between 2 and 5,000 hours. 2,000 and 5,000, not just 2 hours. That'd be horrible. But with how much we watch movies and would theoretically use this, we're probably looking somewhere between a year and two every bulb. So within 3 or 4 years, it would be more beneficial to have that projector than the other one I was looking at, which was the W1070, I believe, from BenQ, which is also a very good projector. Just, I started liking the LG more and more. I've mounted projectors before, so I would have to put an outlet up there if I did mount one. But the short throw just goes right there on a stand, which I'm probably going to make, so that way I can get the height just where I want it. We do have the light switches over there, but I plan on doing kind of like a drapery over those. It's going to be a big continuous project. Right now I have a older style 7.1 or 7.2 receiver. It's a older Yamaha model. It's served me well for the last couple of years I've had it. Doesn't have any HDMIs, but we'll get to that. That's going to be the tricky part, because eventually I'm going to upgrade to a Atmos receiver. I believe an Onkyo RZ800 is the current model I've been looking at, so it'll probably change by the time I get to it. But right now I have two of my receivers sitting over there. The bottom one is the Yamaha, and the top one is a Denon that has HDMI inputs, which I'm probably going to have to use both to get HDMI switching and audio to the big one. So basically using one just for HDMI switching between a streaming device, maybe two streaming devices, a Xbox or PlayStation, depending on what I get, and then a Blu-ray player, of course. You can't have a theater room without solid content in the room. Blu-rays always do a little bit better than streaming. Just always shorter distance to travel is pretty much the easiest way I can do to explain that. So basically you have the content which is in a physical disc in the room versus a hard drive miles and miles away. And then just a tour around the room. So we have the door, projection screen, window. I'm actually going to cover those up. That'll be another project. I'm actually going to build a frame to sit in here with sound deadening material, and then a black no light can get through in there. So that way this is going to be completely blacked out when I'm done with it. I was thinking about putting some of the home theater equipment in here and making like a rack system. May still do that, but since that projector goes up here, I may end up just doing a TV cabinet, center channel, 2 towers on the left and right, which I will be ordering, and then 2 speakers up here on stands for the left and right rears. I was thinking about a 7.1, but with how small this room is, I believe it's like 14, I think 16 by 14 are the dimensions, excluding the closet here. Because this was actually an addition, so this is actually a concrete wall. Those 2 are concrete walls, and then that's either wood or metal. But it should turn out pretty good. It's going to make it real easy with this couch, which came from the old house. We got a new couch for the living room. Get rid of that. Because no matter where I put the receiver, I can always run the wires up and around the border and under the couch, which will be perfect. And I got my cat checking everything out. But that's pretty much the future plans for my home theater project, which will be very fun. I've had a pretty decent one before. Had a RF remote control and then just the TV and all the speakers showing, and that was it. Everything else behind the closed doors. But when I get to all that and unraveling all of my electronic mess and ordering some more stuff, we'll get into that. But if anyone has any questions about some of the stuff I'm doing, go ahead and leave me a comment message. I'll gladly get back to you. My next video will probably be going on about some of these receivers and how to hook things up and what each thing does and why you should use one or another, or why it doesn't matter which one you use, because there's plenty of those. There's plenty of redundancy in these receivers. As a quick look at, we got our HDMI ports. Yeah, we got our HDMI ports here. Digital audio, which will do your 5.1. Analog audio, which will do stereo, left and right. You have your analog video, standard def 480. HDMI will go up to 4K now. But normally around 1080 is where you gotta know with that. Then we have surround back pre-outs and subwoofer outputs. So those are actually outputs for speakers of non-amplified or amplified at their own systems. So like these are amplified outputs, while these are not. Then we have our front speakers, left and right. So each speaker takes 2, left, right, center, surround, surround. So 5 speakers with this guy. And then there is a FM AM antenna, FM antenna, and then this is the AM as it's labeled. And that's pretty much everything for this guy. Nothing too fancy on this one. I'm gonna put my phone down for a second. Go over to this big sucker. Much heavier. As you can see, there are plenty more on this guy. A lot more connections. So you can have something real basic like this guy, or something real extreme like this guy. But I'll go into what all these things do in one of the next videos. But if you guys do have any questions about home theater questions, I'm a pretty good contact. And other than that, you guys have a nice day.